Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. It's Josh Allen that'll be orchestrating the offense, a 6'5" quarterback from Wyoming.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it, but the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On first down, Allen. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. About 3 yards there to the 27. The numbers for him from a week ago. 25 carries, 97 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
Mahomes now to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Nick Perry in from his linebacker's spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
And that's their first sack of this game. But how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. The Buffalo defense does its job, and it's fourth down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Looking deep downfield. And that is going to be incomplete. Adam Gase rolls the dice. It doesn't pan out. And the Bills are going to get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
And that's incomplete. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
He's going to go for a big... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a big 32-yard play on third.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Khalil Mack in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll run high. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Aaron Donald's secret, if there is one, to his play, his ability to contort his body in such a way that you can't get a good, clean block on it. He slides through holes and slides.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Aaron Donald. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. Nice footwork at the 25. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out.
He's got him in, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Mahomes now on first down. And going deep for Hill. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that second attempt. Here's Mahomes to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. And again, it's Mahomes. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
From the 2 now, second and goal. Now here's Mahomes. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. As his guys are in for 6. And the Browns have taken the early lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Allen going to throw underneath for Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center eligible.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. Oh, shifty.
Whoa. And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown on the season. And the Browns add on to their lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
All right, here we go.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And now running right through him. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. On second down, Johnson. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down.
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. The front office all smiles when the ink went dry on this new contract.
Not only them, how about the coaching staff? Because oftentimes the front office, the coaching staff may have different opinions about the value of a player. I think everyone was in sync on this one. He's a guy that they needed to keep.
On play action, Allen. And Jones has it over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quickly.
Back to the ground. This time it's high. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Ace!
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down.
Okay, work with me here. Make sure I'm clear on this. When they're inside their own 10-yard line and they run a toss play, I know it works, but ordinarily that takes a lot of chutzpah to do something like that because the only thing more dangerous is trying to throw the ball in that situation and maybe taking a big loss.
And going deep for Hill. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
There's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They begin the drive with Johnson. Good move by Duke. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
The Bills on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. It's caught. Jones. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week. You must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And that is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And this one is right through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A 1st down carry for Barkley. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy. and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. In for the score. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They look for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that's caught by Beasley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a 1st down. 1st down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. And he finds Tyler Kroft. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. Going for the deep ball. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end. Zone. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10.
Set. Green, 39.
From the gun, it's Allen. Dumping it off for Johnson. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another 1st down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Operating from the red zone now. Allen, he couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Throwing again. Allen. And Beasley with it over the middle. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. They've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And they'll try again here, first and goal after the false start.
Set. 319.
And again, it's Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Cole Beasley in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bills cut into that lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Likely time for one final snap as they start out first and 10. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. And we'll skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Well, they finally get to him, but not before he's past the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. First and 10 for Dalton. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Jerry Hughes able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. To throw here, Dalton. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Nick Perry in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Andy Dalton. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And the 12, that's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So after the INT, it's Allen. And the grab by Croft. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we? Remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup there, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, it went against the tendency and ran it.
Now, loose football. The ball comes out, and I think the Browns got it. They did. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that, and when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool him on that play.
And going deep for Hill. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 52 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in, but when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat. They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why I lost.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Browns add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, being on the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to, but as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Fletcher Cox coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
On second down, here's Allen. His throw incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up the 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They're on to the second half now down in Miami. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Ryan Fitzpatrick, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. On first down, Mahomes. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Flush to his right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Shaq Lawson in there to drop it for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Here we go, 4th down, Mahomes. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Now let's go.
On 1st down, Allen. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis. Interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. And now out come the Bills. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep...
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Have they shown him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And his throw here's incomplete. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he slings one that's incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
Left.
Mahomes to throw once more. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Tyreek Hill, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns continue to roll. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on.
This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Give him 30 yards there. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era when we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. On second down, here's Mahomes. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applied.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns are pouring it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing too.
Oh, she's
on like the 15.
Yeah, she left scales way behind. They used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you do...
Oh, he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Fletcher Cox in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. To the air. Allen to the sideline. And wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Nick Perry getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And they're going deep for Hill. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Well, they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On the left side, he finds Beasley. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. The extra point splits the uprights as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Take him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but Good thought. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Nick Perry in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. From midfield, here's Mahomes. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Finally a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
The Browns on 3rd down, lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Mahomes now to throw. This is caught inside the 15. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. They're all finished in the game up in Minneapolis. And the Cowboys now, they've opened things up in that one. Ezekiel Elliott, simply incredible in this one. Over 200 yards on the ground with a couple of touchdowns to boot.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Allen hit. He lost the football. And fortunately, the Bills jump on it and get it back. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Allen. He gives it to Brown. Complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Browns, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they'll fall to 1.
You